You know that sound, right? That crisp sh when you crack open a can, that fizz, that sweet rush. For so many of us, it's just part of the day. It's our afternoon pick-me-up, the perfect thing to go with pizza, or just a familiar comfort. It feels pretty harmless. I mean, it's just one can.
But what happens if that one can isn't just a now-and-then treat? What if it becomes a non-negotiable part of your routine, every single day, for a whole year? Let's actually follow that one choice and see what that journey looks like inside your body.
So our story kicks off in the first 30 days. This is where you're going to feel the changes right away. They're immediate. You can think of it as a bit of a honeymoon period, but trust me, it's quickly followed by a pretty nasty hangover.
The effects really start to stack up, week by week. In week 1, you get that classic sugar rush. A quick, intense burst of energy, sure. But then comes the crash that leaves you feeling foggy and honestly kind of irritable. By week 2, your teeth are starting to notice. They're getting a daily bath in acid that starts weakening their protective enamel. Week 3, your sleep starts getting all choppy because the daily sugar and caffeine are messing with your body's internal clock. And by the end of just 1 month, your brain has literally been rewired. It now expects, no, it demands that daily sugar hit. And that creates a really powerful craving cycle.
And that crash we're talking about, it's not just in your head. It is a real biological event called reactive hypoglycemia. The best way to picture it is like a rocket. That huge hit of sugar gives you a massive, super fast launch, but the fuel burns out just as quickly, leaving you sputtering back down to earth, feeling tired and totally unable to concentrate.
So after those first obvious effects, the changes start to run a lot deeper. Over the next 6 months, the damage isn't something you'd really see in the mirror, but underneath the surface, a pretty serious and invisible buildup is taking place.
Okay, so half a year in, you've now consumed 182 cans of soda. Just take a second and actually picture that. A mountain of 182 cans. It's a lot.
And the sugar from all those cans? Well, it adds up to roughly 16 pounds. Imagine having to carry around a heavy bowling ball made of pure sugar. That is literally what your body has had to figure out how to process.
Now, all that sugar forces your body to adapt, and believe me, not in a good way. It starts to develop something called insulin resistance. So think of insulin as the key that unlocks your cells to let energy in. But after being bombarded with sugar day after day, the locks on your cells, they start to get rusty. The key just doesn't work as well, which leaves more and more sugar just floating around, useless, in your bloodstream.
The consequence of that rusty lock is pretty stark. A daily soda habit can increase your risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 26%. And that's not just some random number. It's a direct, statistical link between this one daily choice and a very serious, life-altering health condition. And that brings us to the 1-year mark. After 365 days, the built-up effects are no longer invisible. The bill has officially come due, and it is a full-body invoice.
Let's just run down this invoice, shall we? Your teeth are now facing significant enamel erosion, which makes them weaker, more prone to cavities. Your liver, which is just completely overwhelmed, has started storing that excess sugar as fat, quietly raising your risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Your waistline has likely expanded by an average of 15 to 20 pounds, all from empty liquid calories that gave you zero nutrition. Your heart is under constant strain from elevated blood pressure, making it work harder every single minute of every day. And finally, your brain's reward system has been hijacked, creating a dependency that feels an awful lot like an addiction. Okay, I know. That whole picture sounds incredibly bleak, but it is so important to understand this. This is not a life sentence. It's just the result of a repeated choice, and that means a different choice can create a completely different and better result. This is really the fundamental principle behind all of this. Small habits, repeated every day, create big results. The only question is whether those results are negative or positive. The same engine that drove all that damage can be used to heal and build you back up, one small decision at a time.
Let's just sit with this for a second. It's not about making some massive, overwhelming, life-altering change tomorrow. It's about the incredible power that you hold in the very next single choice you make. That is where all change really begins.
So, as we wrap this up, I'm just going to leave you with a question. Looking at your own daily rituals, your own habits, what's one small choice you could change starting today that could lead you to a dramatically different picture 1 year from now?